Hi, I'm Jackie Ferrato, the Community Relations Manager with the Washington 529 College Savings Plans. Thanks for joining me today in this episode of our video series called 529 and 5 to 9, which is going to be all things 529 related in 5 to 9 minutes. And so today's topic is, what is a 529 plan? So let's get started. 529 plans are tax advantage college savings plans, and they're designed to encourage and to help families to save for a child or grandchild's future education expenses. And the earnings portion in a 529 plan is going to grow tax-free and then remain tax-free when the student uses it for qualified educational expenses at eligible educational institutions. Now, we're going to talk about what those two things are, what they mean, in just a few minutes. Before we get there, let's dig a little deeper about 529 plans. So there are two types of 529 plans. There are prepaid tuition plans and then traditional college savings plans. Every state in the country sponsors a 529 plan. So they might have a prepaid plan, they might have a savings plan, and they might even have both, like Washington does. There's also a private college 529 plan for families who specifically are planning to save for a child's attendance at a private institution in the United States. Now, prepaid tuition plans allow for participants to pre-purchase future tuition at a predetermined rate today. And typically the account owner will purchase anywhere between 1 and 4 years of tuition for a young child. And then when the child reaches college age or they've graduated from high school, the plan pays out based on tuition rates at that time. So the investment performance is often based on tuition inflation. Now, traditional 529 plans work a little bit different than that because the earnings portion is based on the investment performance. So that's typically going to consist of mutual funds. Most 529 savings plans offer a variety of age-based investment options and risk-based investment options. And as the account owner, you can choose between them or even have a combination of them. And you can also make changes to your investment options at different times. Qualified educational expenses are going to be things like tuition and fees. Now that includes K through 12 tuition, but most often families are saving for higher education expenses. So once a student has graduated from high school and pursuing education beyond high school. So tuition and fees, room and board, that's also going to include if the student is living on or off campus. Now, they do have to be enrolled in their program of study at least half time for it to be considered a qualified educational expense. Now, books and required supplies are qualified, and that includes if the student needs a laptop or a computer, if there's any software requirements for the student's program of study, and even paying the internet service that will support the student through their program of study. And then in 2019, it was also added that you can use 529 plan funds to pay down existing student loan debt. So I have a resource where you can get a little bit more specific details about all these qualified educational expenses, and I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. Let's look at where the student can actually attend school. So an eligible educational institution might be a public or private four-year university or college anywhere in the United States and even in a foreign country. Community and technical vocational schools are eligible, as well as registered apprenticeship programs here in the United States. So for the public four-year, public, private, community, technical four-year and two-year institutions, the school has to be participating in the U.S. Department of Education student aid programs. And in terms of registered apprenticeship program, the apprenticeship program itself would be registered with the U.S. Department of Labor. Now, how about some of those resources I was mentioning? You can go to wastate529.wa.gov, which is the Washington 529 College Savings Plans website. And there you're going to get a lot of information and details about GET and Dream Ahead specifically, but also some additional resources that I mentioned. The College Savings Plan Network is the independent source of all 529 plans nationwide. So you get a really good overview of 529 plans in general, but also you can see how collaboratively all the other state programs work together to help support families saving for their children or even grandchildren's future educational expenses. And then IRS Publication 970, specifically Chapter 8, is going to help you learn more about the 529 plan tax treatment and benefits and more details on those qualified educational expenses. And getting started is as easy as opening an account. Now, to open a Get or a Dream Ahead account, you go to wastate529.wa.gov and then select Get or Dream Ahead. As you're completing an enrollment form, you do an enrollment form for however many students or children you're planning to open an account for. And as soon as the enrollment is complete, you'll get an email confirmation with their account number. And then you begin saving. It's always a good idea to let your family and friends know what you're doing and how they can help, because any contribution coming in is a really great gift. We have a gifting platform on our website too to help you learn more about how other people can be gifting to your college savings account for your children or grandchildren. Then don't hesitate to reach out. If you have any questions or need additional assistance, you can give us a call at 800-955-2318 if you have GET questions, or 844-529-5845 if you have Dream Ahead questions. I'm always available to help too if you have any questions about this video series or things that I can help you with to learn more about GET and Dream Ahead. My contact information is at the bottom of the screen. So thanks again, and don't forget to join us in our next series, which is called What is GET? Thank you.